Welcome back to the Tigers Den podcast, guys. I'm your host, Big C Got Game. Before we get started, you already know what we got to do, man. I say it all the time. Smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're brand new. And don't forget, hit those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Big C Got Game. And big shout out to the Noti Squad. I see y'all, man. Make sure you guys hit that bell and get notified when your boy uploads. Also, big welcome to everybody that came over from Flimlo Raps college football page on Facebook. I appreciate the love you guys have been showing lately, man. It really does mean a lot. We are getting closer and closer to that 500 subscriber goal. As soon as we hit 500, I'm telling you, I got something for you guys. So make sure you guys keep sharing, liking the videos, and you already know your boy's going to be putting out mad content. Jumping into things, man, as you can see, our Tigers are now 9-1 after a nail-biting victory over Texas A&M. 43-42 was your final. Talk about a nail-biter, guys. Coming down to the last seconds and going for two. Coach Fobbs is a madman. Jumping into the players' stats, Phil Austin finished 13 of 20 for 186 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Another rough game for him. A lot of the interceptions were forced, or the corners and the safeties were baiting Phil to throw the ball, and unfortunately, they were picking it off. But the ground game carried us as usual. Charlie Brooks, man, this kid is something amazing. I say it every week. He just puts up amazing numbers. 24 carries for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. Will Higgins chipped in with 11 carries for 55 yards and 1 score. And even though he had a rough passing day on the ground, Phil Austin balled out, 10 carries for 89 yards and 2 scores. My only concern is we're relying way too much on the run game to save us, and the passing game is taking a hit. But we're getting W's, so that's all that really matters. You know what I mean? Out wide, Jordan Jones led the way with 4 grabs for 39 yards. Demetrius Gunn had 3 catches for 37 yards and a touchdown. Malik Rout had an incredible catch across the middle. He finished with 2 catches for 55 yards. And DJ Clark, 2 catches for 38 yards. On defense, it was not the G-Men's best showing this year. Josh Carey still leading the way, 12 tackles on the day. Brian Smith, our safety, had 9. And then it's just a huge drop-off after that. Cargo had 4 tackles, and Bridgewater had 4. Freeman had 3, and Varner had 3 and a sack. Shout out to Markel Jackson. He also had a sack, and so did Rodney Jackson. Interceptions, big shout out to our shutdown corner, John Nichols. He got his 4th interception on the year. The big story was how Grambling's defense could not stop Texas A&M. Starkle finished 10 of 11 for 153 yards and 1 interception. They did a great job against the pass, but it was the run game where we got torched. Williams carried the ball 18 times for 202 yards and 2 scores. Starkle had 76 yards on the ground and 1 touchdown, while Busey had 12 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Usually it's the reverse for us. Usually we can shut down the run game but get torched through the air. Against Texas A&M, it was the reverse. We got obliterated on the ground. Williams averaged 11 yards per carry. This concerns me because we're going into bowl season here. We have 2 games left going into bowl season. And when we face these bigger teams in other conferences, we're going to have to shore up our defense and stop the run. So we put a bow on week 11 and take a look at your top 25, and Bama is still sitting on top of the country, 10-1 after beating number 21 Mississippi State. Missouri moves up 2 spots after beating Tennessee to 2. USC is up 4 and are 8-2 in the number 3 slot. Notre Dame is up 2 spots to number 4. Washington moves up 3 spots to 5. Stanford is down 3 spots after losing to USC. Oregon is up 3 spots after beating Cal. Michigan falls 6 spots after taking a loss to Penn State. Florida State is up 5 spots to 9, and Arizona moves up 2 spots to 10. And as we move down the board, we see that Grambling is moving up in the rankings. They are now 15th and moved up 4 spots. Time to take a look at the players of the week in the Sun Belt Conference. A big shout out to Jaquise Dancy from Louisiana Tech. He had a huge day receiving for out of the backfield. 4 catches for 105 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he also chipped in with 13 carries for 66 yards. And on defense, Our safety, Brian Smith, had 9 tackles and a fumble recovery. So big shout out to the players of the week in the Sun Belt Conference. Taking a look at your conference standings in the Sun Belt, and Grambling State is sitting on top of the conference at 7-0. Arkansas State is second, followed by Idaho. The Raging Cajuns come in fourth, and then South Alabama round out your top 5. To the recruiting trail we go. We're coming up in the last couple weeks of recruiting, and we welcome 4 prospects to campus this week: Nick Gordon, Michael Baker, Otis Allen, and Kyle Green. We'll talk about them here in a few minutes, but right now we need to welcome the newest member of the class of 2019. Meet 3-star athlete Joel Thomas from Louisiana. He comes in as a 72 overall with decent speed and agility and acceleration. He could play safety or he could play running back. Look for him to get playing time at both. To the top of the board we go. Tight end Rob Bradford still has Grambling State as his number 1 team, but he is taking a trip to South Bend to visit Notre Dame this week. If we put up good numbers for our tight ends this week, he should still be interested in Grambling State. Wideout Clint McCoy is close to signing with the Tigers. North Texas is trying to make a final push, but it looks like he'll be joining the 2019 class here real soon. 4-star athlete Jermaine McConnell still has Grambling State as his number 1 team. Alabama has pulled out of the race. The battle for cornerback Tyrell Williams is heating up. LSU is still his number 1 team, but Grambling State is putting up a fight and plan to have him on campus on a bye week. Cornerback Marcus Atkins has LSU as his number 1 team as well, but Grambling State is still fighting for the 4-star prospect. Another 4-star corner, Ron Bennett, has Grambling State as his number 1 team, and he's got him ahead of Missouri and LSU. Corner Kyle Green will be on campus this week. The 6'1" Louisiana native would be a solid addition to the cornerback group. He's got decent speed. He's got decent man coverage and zone coverage. Look for Green to get the red shirt his freshman year. At guard, Otis Allen will be on campus this week, and this guy is a monster. He's 6'3", 301, and he is a run block specialist. Our league continues to grow for Richard Maynard, the DN from Texas. We're in a battle for outside linebacker Joel Brown. Grambling is his number 1 team, but Tulane is putting up a strong fight. Kicker Nick Gordon will be on campus this week. We're losing our kicker and our punter this year, so it's very important to get this guy on campus. He does not have the strongest leg, but his accuracy we can work with. And we found another running back to add to the stable of backs that we already have. Meet running back John Brock from Tucumcari, New Mexico. He's 5'11", 194. He's the number 5 running back in this class, and this kid could be something special down the road. So that's going to do it for recruiting this week. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and Twitter and the Facebook page at Big C Got Game to stay up to date with signings and what's going on with the recruiting class of 2019. Now it's time to get ready for our last home game of the season against the Idaho Vandals. The Vandals come in on a 5-game winning streak after losing 3 in a row. They started the season off losing to Florida, Arkansas State, and Western Michigan, but have rolled off 5 in a row by beating Fresno State, Louisiana Tech, Texas State, Northern Illinois in overtime, and Troy. The Vandals are led by junior quarterback Mason Petrino. He's a scrambler. He's thrown for 1,322 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. And as again we said, he's a scrambler, so we got to make sure we keep an eye on him on the ground. He's handing the ball off to stud running back Isaiah Saunders. The 5'10" senior has carried the ball 149 times for 775 yards and 8 touchdowns. Petrino has carried the ball 77 times for 193 yards and 1 score. And Saunders' backup, Dylan Thigpen, is a sophomore. He's a speed back, 44 carries for 167 yards. Out wide, tight end Alex James is Petrino's favorite target, 31 catches for 404 yards and 2 scores. David Ungerer is a senior speed wideout, 5'9", 185. He's got 29 grabs for 324 yards and 3 scores. Another tight end is Joseph Wasowski. He's got 24 grabs for 326 yards. And then Michael Garner, the 5'11 junior, has 19 grabs for 157 yards and 1 score. But Brandon Luckett is the touchdown catcher of this group. He's got 14 grabs for 174 and 4 touchdowns. So it looks like our defense is going to have their hands full with the running game, but we got to make sure we shut down the tight ends as well. On defense, The Vandals are led by right outside linebacker Caden Ellis. The 6'3 senior has 66 tackles on the season and 3.5 sacks. His counterpart on the other side is Ty Graham. He's got 42 tackles and 2 sacks. And left end DJ Henderson is a terror, 40 tackles and 3 sacks. But we have to keep an eye on big Rashawn Crawford. He's 5'10 and weighs in at 328 pounds, and he's got 3.5 sacks on the season. As far as interceptions go, safety Jordan Grabsky has 2 interceptions on the year. Middle linebacker Ed Hall has 1 interception, but he's injured this week. And safety Denzel Brantley has 1 INT. So it's the battle of the streaks. Idaho comes in on a 5-game winning streak. Grambling State comes in on a 8-game winning streak. Who is going to go home with an L? It looks like Kirk Herbstreit is rolling with the Tigers. Leave comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Who's going to pull the game out? And are you excited about our recruiting class that's coming to shape? Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're brand new. And don't forget, make sure you hit those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Big C Got Game. And we'll talk from the hole. It's senior day and the last home game of the season. Thanks for watching, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.